Today, in this video, I am going to discuss a different type of capture pump, which is called as cryosorption pump. So earlier, we have seen the two processes, that is cryocondensation and cryosorption. So you know that capture pumps, they are basically working on a principle of cooling typical type of surfaces and thereby condensing the gas molecules on such a cooled surface. So in these pumps, in cryosorption pumps, gaseous molecules are captured either by condensation or for certain gases by adsorption on surfaces held at very low temperature. So these processes are called as cryocondensation and cryosorption. Okay, so cryocondensation, that type of cryo pump, we have already discussed in the last video. So today I am going to discuss the cryosorption type of pump. So the cryosorption type of pump, the term, you know that earlier we have used cryo pump. It is actually reserved for devices in which the adsorption takes place upon a simple surface, and the term cryosorption pump will be applied to any device using a molecular sieve sorbent as the primary adsorbing medium. That means here cryosorption pumps, these are typically designed where we are using a molecular sieve as a sorbent. So that will act as a primary adsorbing medium, and this is used to trap or capture the gas molecules. So this is the main difference between the cryocondensation pump and the cryosorption pump. So cryocondensation pump, where we are using any surface which is cooled with certain refrigerant like liquid nitrogen or liquid helium. So thereby the gas molecules will be condensed and they are trapped in this way. But here in cryosorption pumps, molecular sieve sorbent is used as the primary adsorbing medium. So that is the basic difference one must note here. A third group, helium, hydrogen and neon. Third group means earlier we have discussed the different types of molecules depending upon their vapor pressure. So depending on the vapor pressure, we have made the gas molecules, we have divided the gas molecules into three different groups. So the third group is of certain gas molecules like helium, hydrogen and neon, which have substantial vapor pressure even below 10 degree Kelvin. And for this, cryocondensation is not feasible. For these particular gas molecules, cryocondensation is not feasible, and therefore this group can be pumped effectively by cryosorption. So cryosorption will be an effective method, or cryosorption pumps are effective pump for capturing the gas molecules like helium, hydrogen and neon. So this is the specific application, you can say this is a specific application of cryosorption pump. They are used to pump the gas molecules like helium, hydrogen and neon. And for that, earlier also we have discussed the use of activated charcoal. So activated charcoal and the process of cryosorption, that can be used to pump these gas molecules even at a temperature of 10 to 15 degree Kelvin. So in this video we are going to study a typical design of cryosorption pump. So let us see this particular diagram of cryosorption pump. So you can see here this cylindrical stainless steel can C. So this is the can C, cylindrical can C. Okay, so this is a cylindrical can C, and we have a lower section here N, lower section N, that defines an annular region A. Because of this section A N, there is an annular region A holding the zeolite plates, you can see, which are represented by Z. And I have just to physically represent them, I have used some cross marks here. You can see these cross marks. Okay, so these are the zeolite pellets represented by letter Z. Now this this assembly is immersed in liquid nitrogen in a polystyrene container P. Okay, you can see this outer container which is made up of polystyrene. So in this polystyrene, a liquid nitrogen is filled. Okay, you can see this outer. So this is a liquid nitrogen, and a special tube is there. You can see a dotted line and T is written here, a tube T, which enables the liquid, that means this liquid nitrogen, to fill in space N. You can see this piece space N. So in order to cool it, this liquid nitrogen can enter here through this tube T. So uh, during this process of cryosorption, what happens here, before actually discussing the process of cryosorption, let us see one important thing here. Now this is the way which is connected towards the chamber or the space which you want to evacuate. And there is a special type of valve, you can see, that is a spring loaded valve S. Now in this particular channel which is going to the vacuum chamber here, there is a certain type of valve which is called as a isolation valve. Now this isolation valve, which is not actually shown in this particular diagram. Now this valve is incorporated in the pumping line to the system, and a simple spring loaded type of valve S that allows a release of formed gases to the atmosphere during subsequent regeneration. Now earlier also I have defined the process of regeneration. What is actually regeneration? So whenever any particular cryo pump, it continuously pump the gas molecules. So whatever the mechanism involved, maybe a condensing surface, cryocondensation process where we are using a surface, so that surface may get saturated. That means there will be no further space available for absorbing the gas molecules. So in this case, further pumping will be uh, stopped. So what is needed is, you need to regenerate. That means you have to remove the earlier spaces. So in that particular case, you will need a isolation valve. So now your pumping system will be isolated. So here the pumping line will be closed, and the temperature here that will be elevated. And what will happen here, the temperature which is elevated here, so these gas molecules, they will evaporate and they will be pumped out through a specially designed valve, just like here spring loaded valve in this particular case. Okay, so uh, this is the mechanism provided here for a regeneration process. Okay, now let us see how this cryosorption process takes place. So as I have mentioned earlier also, that cryosorption pumps where a molecular sieve is used. So this zeolite pellets represented by Z, that acts as a molecular sieve Z. Okay, so the molecular sieve Z, which does the pumping, consists of small pellets of synthetic zeolites. So a typical material which is called as synthetic zeolite, for example, alkali metal aluminosilicates. These are typical metals, alkali metal aluminosilicate, that will act as a pellets of synthetic zeolites, or it will act as a molecular sieve. So molecular sieve, that means just to allow certain gas molecules. Okay, so just for we are using a sieve physically for grading certain materials or elements. So here also the molecular sieve is used to just allow certain gas molecule to enter it into it. Okay, so now the size of this molecular sieve is of the order of zero point 0.5 nanometer. So it is a very small size. You can imagine 0.5 nanometer is a very small size. So because here this particular zeolite plate pellets, they are to be used to uh, absorb, for absorbing the gas molecule, typical gas molecule, just like helium or neon. Okay, so the average size of this sieve is zero point 0.5 nanometer, and if you imagine what surface area it has, for example, if you assume the dimensions of 1 cubic centimeter of this material, then it has a effective surface area of about 600 meter square. So that is a huge surface area. So you can imagine, with this huge surface area per unit volume, when it is chilled, it allows a large number of molecules to be physically adsorbed. So with a very smaller dimension of the order of point or of the order of 1 cubic centimeter even, it has a surface area of 600 meters square. So it can adsorb, it can physically adsorb very large number of gas molecules. So when these zeolites are cooled here, the gas molecules will enter, and into these zeolites, these gas molecules will be adsorbed. Very large number of gas molecules will be adsorbed. That means they will be captured by this molecular sieve. So this is how the pumping will be taking place here. So at a very lower temperature, because outer side we are cooling it with a liquid nitrogen, so at such lower temperature this molecular sieve will adsorb certain type of gas molecules. Okay, so uh, the gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, where the vapor pressure is substantially low, so they are very effectively pumped. But here also helium and neon cannot be pumped, because earlier we have discussed, for that we need the activated charcoal to be used. If you want to pump the helium or neon, the gas molecules like helium, neon, hydrogen, they can be pumped in presence of activated charcoal. So here this kind of suction pump, which I have shown here in this particular diagram, that is very effective uh, for the molecules which has substantial vapor pressure even at a lower temperature. Uh, so nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, they can be easily pumped with this type of suction pump. So this is the application area, you can say, for these particular suction pumps. So this is a typical application.